Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's Monday. It's Monday, and I'm here. Yes, not working today. I have a few appointments and everything to do today, so I got the Monday off. I worked yesterday, so sending you guys out so much love and hoping everybody's doing really, really well out there in crazy land. Well, we have the moon has left Libra and it is in Scorpio. The moon is at one end and the sun is at the other end. So the sun is getting ready to leave Scorpio and go into Sagittarius. And so it's at the 29-degree mark. And the moon is where the solar eclipse was on October 25th. My memory serves me right, may not. So it's, it's kind of eclipsy. We also have Mercury has passed over Venus in Sagittarius and is motoring along as Jupiter has basically stopped and will be going forward as of Wednesday when the new moon hits. So there's a lot of crazy energy up in the skies right now, and it really is having us feel very maybe dragging our ass, maybe overwhelmed by a lot of energies. And this is where, with the dark moon coming in, and we also have Jupiter in Pisces, and it's really watching our thoughts. Our mind can really take us and lead us down a crazy, some crazy energy. And your mind, especially with Pisces energy there, and even though this Jupiter is trining over to the sun, and Sun Jupiter trines are absolutely fabulous. I mean, they're beautiful. With all that watery energy, can really make you think that, okay, everything's going well, and then you slip on a banana peel and fall flat on your ass. So you still have to be very cautious with what you are doing, and keeping into that light. And that's the whole thing, is really keeping into that positive light. And I know, like last night, and crazy dreams, I'm just going to say, I'm throwing out the crazy dream energy out there too. I had such a crazy dream, and I know when certain things start coming into my dream, there's huge transformation and changes that are not only going to be happening for me, but the world around me. And these forces of evil, coming forward and trying to tempt you, trying to throw you off track in some way. And this is where the water energy and the water animals, like bringing in the sea creatures, and I kept on getting the sharks, because sharks are misunderstood. Where sharks, I feel, to bringing in that shark energy, because sharks are very highly alert and highly sensitive animals. And to be a shark in your domain, that means you have to be really aware of what is going on and being decisive, and not just falling for things, just because it seems like a great thing or seems like a great idea. So that shark energy is really coming in strong, along with the whale and, excuse me, I have been sick. Anyways, along with that and the dolphin energy, and also angelfish. So the angelfish are coming in because they're letting me know that the angels are there. And I found it quite interesting that angelfish and sharks are coming together. Because with that energy, it's trying to show us that, we could get led. And it's where we have to learn to surrender, right? And trust in this deep inner instincts that we have. And especially with Mercury passing over Venus, right? In Sagittarius, which is fire, And Sagittarius, also being the accountability one to hold people accountable. This is, in the collective consciousness of accountability. This is where it's, to see things for the future, to see things, this is where it's okay. If I'm taking this route, I need to be accountable for what I am doing. So I also have to be aware of what is around me, who is around me, who I can trust and can't trust. People, sometimes you think you can trust certain people, but there might be something there that is untrustworthy, right? So don't lose yourself in a lot of delusions that are going to try and tempt you. You got to stay grounded. Gaia came in very strongly in my dream, and Gaia is bringing in that light, bringing in that definition of saying you got to stay grounded in the light of what you are doing, and even within your convictions. And this is where you might be knocked down, feeling like shit, and being, I feel like in a lot of ways where feeling threatened. I don't know the word feeling threatened. And I think that's where the shark comes back in. But feeling threatened that because of what you believe in or how you are structuring your life, others may not be agreeing with you. And this is where also now I'm going into the world dynamics, is that there's a lot of structures that are being set up that others don't like what they're doing. They don't want them to do these things. They don't want them to go into this different direction. They want, it's like, I want you to stay over here and play in my sandbox. But others are leaving and saying, no, we're not going in there. Your sandbox stinks like shit. We're not going into that. So there's a restructuring that is happening. And under this restructuring that is happening, it's very scary. And this is where I was talking about, we're going to come into some financials. I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that, but just where the nodes are in Taurus and Scorpio, which has to do with personal finances, North Node Taurus, and world finances, world affairs, what's going on with the world financial. And we're seeing different things at play that are going out. And we're seeing central banks, like the central banks are buying up gold. Okay, gold is from Gaia. Gold is from the earth. Gold is a currency that is always reliable. Remember, the earth gives. She gives. She's constantly giving to people. Like she's giving life. She's giving resources. She's allowing for this energy to come forth. And she's saying, why are people trusting in things that are untangible? When I, Gaia, Earth, am tangible, I am here, I am wanting to give you that substance. Yet we are running away from her. We're running away from that substance. We don't want to, we want something that's unable to reach, a pie in the sky, untangibility. And that's where we have gotten into a lot of trouble, because we want to go for that untangible energy. This is going to make me happy. This is going to be great. And right now, especially with that moon going into Scorpio, it's that dark phase. You really, the dark phase is when we really have to take time of reflection and go within. And taking that time for reflection, taking that time of going within to allow ourselves to sort of say, okay, I need to really look at my surroundings. I need to really trust in my instincts. And in comes the shark. Okay, Pepe Lou was feeling stressy this weekend, and how's the week going to be for all of us? Well, we're coming into a new moon. Okay, so the new moon is coming in on Wednesday. So those who have ordered their, because I have people who pre-order their mini readings. So their mini readings will be out today. I'll be doing the new moon readings today. And so people will be getting their new moon readings. And those who have, shit. My mind's going in all different directions. I have the early bird special for next year. If people are wanting into it, I only have a couple left. And if you want to get in on it, cool. I will be making announcements of what's going to be happening with me next year. I'm still sort of meditating on it, on directions that new directions that I am looking upon on my business. So anyways, we need to start looking at, because this dark moon is covering the solar eclipse. So we might be feeling a little bit unwaverly. So much is coming out within the world and within the news. We're seeing, central banks buying up gold, which is, and the funny thing is, the United States doesn't want gold. I mean, because they're an oil backed. Our society is structured on debt. So the more money we print and everything else, where other countries are creating a structure that is built on gold backing. And there's a lot of, like China and Russia and Brazil, South Africa, and then we have the Middle Eastern countries, like Saudi Arabia and stuff like that, are reverting, even though they're oil, but they're reverting to have gold backing money, because the thing is it's tangible. It's tangible. It's also a connection back to Earth, right? So there's this tangibility, and I've talked about this before, because with a lot of energy in Taurus, in Uranus in Taurus, North Node in Taurus, this is looking at what is tangible, right? What is that tangibility, and as the nodes are moving and they're going towards Aries, and this is where, we're looking at what kind of structures and what kind of restructuring that we need to make within our mundane world for our highest good. And right now, there's so much unstructuring, if that's a word, unstructuring within the world. It is making it unsettling for us, and that's why we really have to, again, come back to our instincts, come back to our our spirit, and come back into our guidance with everything. And the planets are showing us great transformation and changes that are going on, but you can't go the speed of light. You have to really be cautious. You got to stop at the stop sign, right? You can't do the California stop, the roll and go. You have to come to the full stop. You have to make sure you're aware of what is around you, right? And this is going to make you more safe, more secure. And it's very important for that safety and security, and not to go off on, and getting overconfident in what we are doing. And this is where, this is a huge surrender and appreciation for what is working in your life. Not to go down a crazy rabbit hole and like, oh my God, it's all doom and gloom, and we're going to, the world, we're going to go into nuclear winter and blah, blah, blah. This is where we got to really find a way to fall into our own place, into our own sovereignty, right? And this is a big test. This is a huge test. And usually, Scorpio energy in itself can be very crazy. But, with the South Node there, it is just really bringing in more of the depths of where we are having to let go and trust in our inner light, right? Because we can't always trust in the lights that are around us, because they are ones that could guide us or put us onto roads that are not where we truly need to be going or want to be going. And looking at what we can control in our lives. What are the things that we can do? And these are the things, again, we go back to the basics. We go back the prepping and all of that, which is absolutely fabulous. But also it's like, how are we securing ourselves? As things are going forward, how are we making our own lives more secure? And this is where it's not too late. That's what I want to say. People like, oh no, you can't do anything. It's not too late. This is where it's like, okay, what are the steps do I need to do to make myself more on a financially secure table? Again, how do I do that? Is it that I put $5 aside? Is it that I can do $100 aside? Can I go and get physical, maybe, buying physical gold or silver and things like that? Remember, I'm not a financial advisor at all. Like, fuck that, no. But this is where it's also what kind of things can I look into to invest? And this is where you find different people that are out there. Like, there's the economic ninja, which is he's not a financial advisor, but he's got some good advice. I allegedly is another one who has some really good information and advice. Neil McCoy is another one. Now these guys have been around for a long time, and I like them because everything that they've said really aligns with the astrology, even though they don't use astrology. These guys are very smart guys. But they can see the writing on the walls, right? They're not ones who they're down to earth. They're not going to try and mislead you into a direction that is unsavory. Let's put it that way. So here's this energy that's coming in that's saying, okay, we really need to look at things in a very logical way. And in that logical energy, right, it's like, what is the basis? What is that energy that really makes me feel, yeah, that is right. That does make me feel good. And appreciation for the positive that's coming in, and finding a way not to fall, not to fall in our own way by going too fast and not stopping at the stop sign. And that's going to be very, very important. And as this moon is going into the first degrees of Sagittarius on Wednesday, we're going to start feeling some really big shifts that are going to start to happen within the world, within the economy. Things aren't going to get any, economically, things aren't going to get any better soon. Things are just going to get more chaotic when it comes economically. This is where the preparation and the community and everything else that I've been speaking about for so long are so important, and standing in your truth and your convictions. So on that note, so I got something a little funny. I got a funny, because my husband made me some brekkie. First of all, I'll show you the brekkie that he made me. It's just like, so. Look at it's. That's the breakfast he made me. He made me bagels with cheese and cheese melted on my egg. That's my breakfast this morning. I'm so spoiled. Love it. And we got a dog who wants my breakfast. But anyways, my daughter, it wasn't anything spectacular for his birthday. Unfortunately, we couldn't do too much. I feel so bad because I wanted to do so much for him. We had the kids over and we had Chinese food. That was our big thing. And my one son, the one who gets all the sprinkles, the Libra, really helped with getting the Chinese food. So that was very kind of him. So, and yes, my daughter helped too, but the child with the sprinkles really came through. And so that was kind of nice, coming and just gathering. It wasn't, there's no birthday cake or anything. So it was just a nice quiet day, for the day. And it was a great celebration because, we still have Steve with us. So, which is very awesome after, a crazy year so far that we've had, with everything that's gone on. But one of the things I was going to say that's quite hilarious is the dog's following Steve. It's hilarious. My daughter, I mean, she's just so funny. She goes, Mom, do you have COVID? And I said, no, dear, I don't have COVID. She goes, it's a thing. And I'm like, yes, I whatever. I said, no, I don't have COVID. I said, there's a flu going around. Or whatever it is, a viral going around. And I said, I have, this viral. I said, it's going to take a little bit to get rid of it and shake it off. And yes, I got a stuffy nose and things like that. But she's so funny. She goes, well, she goes, I got a test kit if you want to test yourself. And I just looked at her and I was just like, honey, I ain't doing no test kit. I said, none of that shit's going up my nose. And so she's like, oh, well, it's a good thing. I said, no, why? Just because you get a sniffly nose that you have to test yourself. No, I don't test myself. And plus I don't trust those kits. And I said, have you seen what are in those kits? And stuff. So, and talk of the devil, she's texting me now. So this is very funny, this kind of thing. So, she's just a funny girl. But, the paranoia that can come in too with people are very paranoid. You're going to start seeing that. I mean, people are going to start masking up again because they're scared. They're paranoid. They haven't let it go. I mean, they're still falling into some delusion and hoping that somebody's going to come in and save them, some government or something that's going to save them. If they haven't seen the writing on the walls already on how shitty the government is and how they're selling us out left, right, and center, and just wanting to cause more debt, which is bringing in the collapse of our of the society, which is what Uranus and Taurus does. It brings in collapse, brings in restructuring with everything, and same with the Saturn Pluto. And then the Saturn squaring, the Saturn squaring Uranus that we had for so long has to do with the old and the new and the restructuring. And many want to stick to the old. I want to go back to the old ways. I want to go back to the old, and I'm like, why? I mean, you want to go back to having your head in the sand and thinking everything is okay, when in reality, we're being shown that everything isn't okay. The world is dismantling. We need to look at these things that are dismantling and why they're dismantling. Right now, the Pope has come out the other day, which is fucking scary, and talking about astrology and wanting to make right. I think the wire. Fuck me. Oh wow. That as soon as I started talking about the Pope, the things went haywire. Sorry, people. But wanting to demonize things to do with the tarot and astrology and things like that. And on the Daily Wire, there is one of the guys. He's a Catholic, and that's the other issue with Leo King. And he brought up Ben Shapiro's chart, which I've never looked at, never even thought about it. Ben Shapiro kind of bothers me because of his squeaky high voice, and sometimes he says things that are very intelligent, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I agree with that. But other times he's just weird. Anyways, and how the Daily Wire has formed to be this ultra conservative platform, and looking at his holy shit, this guy's keeping some deep dark secrets. There's some deep darkness that's going on there. He's the Jewish side. We got the Catholics there, and then they're wanting to bring in Jordan Peterson for bringing in that masculine, bringing in more of the males energy and stuff like that. And I think Jordan Peterson doesn't know what the fuck he's getting involved in. I know he's a highly intelligent man, but he's so sensitive and, really feels things dramatically. But what some of the points that were brought up were very, very interesting. And even some of the payments that the Daily Wire are getting from the governor of Florida. So $100,000 plus have been paid straight to the Daily Wire. So here's another platform that's getting paid off by politicians, right? And they're on the opposite spectrum of, for this Republican. But they're also bringing back to this one guy who's Catholic, talking to this astrologer. She's not even a fucking astrologer. She calls herself an astrologist. And you're not an astrologist, you're an astrologer. But unfortunately, people are stupid. Anyways, and just she's had like maybe 4 or 5, I don't know how many videos and stuff like that. But she knows nothing. She knows nothing about astrology. She didn't even talk about astrology. She read from a fucking book. And basically what they're trying to do is demonize and make fun of astrology instead of bringing on somebody who knows something about astrology. They wouldn't bring in the Leo King because you just rip them the fuck apart. And to it's just like bringing somebody on there that really knows their shit. But no, they bring in some kind of little cutesy wootsy little pansy and wanting to, rip it apart. And that's the whole thing. It's like, when you start seeing that, this has happened before in history where when people, things like astrology or different forms of spirituality are starting, people are getting strong within it. You start to see how things really start to fall. And I think she brought something up about DV and how she left this spiritual world and is following God now. And it's so interesting and demonizing the whole thing. And the other thing is about DV is that she also really, there was a letter that she got from Dolores Cannon, and she did a whole ripping apart. And the letter wasn't even bad. The email was just basically, wishing her good luck on everything, and how she was saying that Dolores Cannon was channeling the devil. And this is where you're going to find a lot of, with this energy, people are going to be really wanting to demonize things like astrology, things like, when people are standing in their convictions and you're not following along with what they want you to believe in, then you'll be demonized, like the witch hunts, right? You're not following what we are saying. You are not following the pharmaceutical and the science that we are telling you. So we will demonize you. You will be ousted. You will be the ones that we don't want to hear from you, right? And we have seen this throughout history many, many times before. And this is why you got to stay strong and in your light and be cautious. Be the shark, right? Be the shark. You got to be cautious. You got to be like, oh, I'm not hanging out with all of those over there. I'm going on my own. Like this is what I need to be doing for myself and the people around me. And I need to stop at that stop sign. I need to make sure I'm going cautiously with what I'm doing and what I am trying to prepare for myself in the future. And that's, when you start seeing things like the Daily Wire and stuff, it's interesting. I mean, they have some really good things to say in some aspects, but I mean, even Ben Shapiro was pushing the shot. I mean, that's because his wife is a doctor. Right? She was all backing the shot and everything else. But this is very interesting when you start to really look at that. Are they standing in their truth and their conviction, or what kind of things are they hiding, and what kind of deep seated things? And also, what kind of, when you, I was scrubbed from Wikipedia, but the associations that the governor of Florida belonged to, and what's underneath Disney World. This is the things that are coming up, and that's where Pluto at the end of Capricorn starts to show you or leave these seeds for people to really start to look at, so that you are knowledgeable and saying, oh, okay, all right, they think that they are all that, but I'm bringing in the whale, because the whale's going to eat everything. I'm going to bring in, because a whale's just an oversized shark, right? So killer whale. Anyways, so it's bringing in this energy of saying, okay, I need to know my power, my strength within inside myself as I go forward, and especially with this new moon and the energies of this new moon. The energies of this new moon is something that is very powerful. I think this new moon is going to is going to bring in some crazy transformation. And this is really unwielding. So, I mean, I just pulled up something that's like New Zealand has gone insane, and looking at the insanity that's happening in New Zealand, the corruptions, the WHO on the vaccine, on what they want to do in spreading the vaccine and wanting to make sure everybody gets the vaccine still, because they still want to, make money off this, right? And not now, puppy. Not now. I will pick you up after. So this is watching this unfolding, watching these craziness unfold, along with this energy. And as we go into Sagittarius, what accountability is happening at this time? No, down. So, and looking at that accountability. Anyways, I got to go eat my breakfast before it goes cold. You know that. If you are interested in the early bird special, just to let you know, there's only a couple left. Let me know. There are payment plans. And I will see if I can get on tomorrow. And by the end of the week, I'll let you know what my little announcement is for 2023 and what's going forward, as things are changing, So sending you guys out so much blessings, and may the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you, and all that you say and all that you be and all you do. Thank you all for being so supportive of me. For some of you who have been, before I break off, I know some people have contacted me because they won, or they purchased readings last year, and they're wanting to use their readings that they got from the auction last year. Right now, you're going to have to contact me in the new year, because most of my weekends are booked up at this time, and especially there's only 35 days till Christmas, so most of my days are booked up right now. So it's kind of hectic and crazy at this time. And I can see, and that's probably going to be a part of the announcement that I'm going to be making on Friday, for a lot of bookings that I'm looking at are going into February and March of next year. So, and they might be going into March and April of next year for any type of bookings. So, yeah, crazy. So, so that's the kind of, Lexi's just I know my mind goes curly. So those are the types of things. So for those who have not used your readings, I hate to say you've had a whole year, and I've tried to fit people in as best as I can. I've had my full Saturdays, my days off from my muggle work. I've had Saturdays where my husband goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm doing readings all day," and I've done 5, 6, 7 readings. Some days I've done, up to 7 readings a day on my days off, and that's in one day to get people through, right? And next year's another full year, right? And so I'm only one person, and I just send out my apologies. Same with the workshops and everything else. Life has thrown so many different curveballs, and it's been a real crazy fucked up year, for myself, and I know for many of you out there. So I'm going to try and honor as much as I can, and I'm going to send you guys out so much love. You can be mad, pissed off, whatever at me, that's fine. But God bless, and the goddess bless you. So that's all I got to say. So anyways, I will talk to you guys all soon, and blessed be. Bye-bye.